All right. Well, hey, everybody. Grim Green back here today. Thank you so much for joining me again. What we're going to be talking about today are these MMK Vape Werkstatt tubes. So many people have been asking me about these. And I have to tell you, before we even start talking about these, we sell these on recoilrda.com. So this isn't going to be a review. This is really going to be more of a show and tell. And another thing I have to say right off the bat is these mech mods are expensive. These are pricey mech mods. They come from Indonesia, and right now recoilrda.com is the only place really selling them. And we just started selling them because so many people wanted them. And even then, we have only done these in very, very short runs, maybe only 10 at a time or so, just because they are so expensive. So with that said, in order to get to know this mech mod just a little bit better, what we're gonna do, as we always do, quick short uppy closey time. Boom. All right, yeehaw. Well, these are the Vape Werkstatt MMK ABS mech mods. It's a copper tube coated in a very grippy and knurled Delrin. This is the 24mm and 25mm respectively. We're going to be using the 24 for demonstration purposes. This is a hybrid top cap. This unscrews with your finger. And there's two little holes as well, so you could put a pair of like tweezers in there to unscrew it, but I've never needed more than my fingers. Yeah, and you just got a little disc there that you attach to your atomizer. In this case, it's the Armageddon RDA. And when you're using a hybrid mod, seriously, you have to make sure you have a very nice, static, protruding 510 pin on there. Your contact is going to directly be touching your battery. And on the inside, you have your 18650 floating on a magical cushion of magical magnetism. And this is a very old school switch design. If we pull this out, we'll see we have our magnetic contact right here. And just as a heads up, these unscrew. This contact will unscrew off of here. When you're putting this mech together, you want to make sure that this contact is screwed down all the way and nicely snugged down. Large part will always go towards your button, and the flat part will always stick to the negative side of your battery. And then the switch drops out, nicely engraved switch right there. Yeah, and it is a copper tube. So to put this all back together, you kind of want to drop your switch in here. Try to drop it in as flat as you possibly can so it kind of just glides down a little bit. Glides down all the way to the bottom. The first time you drop this in here when you're changing your batteries, it never quite seats itself correctly. So I just give it like a little, rattle like this, and then all the buttons just sitting nice and flush right there. Take your battery with the magnetic contact, and you can just drop that in, and it's going to slowly lower itself, and there you go. We're back to the floating magnetism. And again, your atomizer is directly touching your battery. So you screw the whole thing down, and yeah, boom, that looks boss. These MMK mods just make every RDA look cool on here. There's a better look at that button, and it's got a very, very short little throw. It's a very soft and short little throw. Here's the 25mm version with the Recoil Rebel on there. Sits nice and flat and flush on there. And it's got that same really short, really soft little throw on the switch. But really, there's not a whole hell of a lot to see up here close and personal, so let's get back out to normal view. Let's vape these guys. So yeah, there's not really a whole lot to see up close and personal. It's a mech mod. We've all seen mech mods before. This is a copper tube coated in knurled Delrin. I really enjoy vaping on these mech mods. I think they're really well put together. They're very conductive and they hit nice and hard. They do have that old school magnetic switch assembly in there, which while it is old school, it still works really well. This is a hybrid mech mod and it has no safety features built into it. So with this mech mod, it goes with any mech mod, you are the safety of the mod. There's no locking switch on this. There's no MOSFETs or fuses or electronics in this. You have to really be aware of what you're doing. You have to be a little bit knowledgeable as far as Ohm's law and amp loads and battery safety. I don't want to say that these types of mods are for advanced users, but you kind of need to know what you're doing. And if you know what you're doing, you're going to get a really great vape. My favorite thing about these MMK mods is they just make every atomizer look cool. I've got the 24 millimeter right now, topped with that Mike Vape's iconic RDA and an authentic dock tip knurled drip tip on top. And fuck, man, that looks cool. Throw that murdered out Bonza RDA on there as well. Yeah, looks cool. 24 millimeter original recipe recoil on there. Yeah, it just looks cool. They got a .13 build in this iconic RDA, and it's hitting nice and hard on this Mech, man. So as we talked about before, these Mech mods are expensive. The retail price on them is over $200. This is a $210 Mech mod. These Mech mods are nice. They're built really well, but they're not for everybody. These type of expensive high-end Mech mods are more for the collector type of person, type of vapor. And since this is really more of a show and tell than anything else, I'm not really gonna rate it. I'm not really gonna play the Aliens game. I'm not really gonna recommend it to anybody, but I am gonna say that I really enjoy using it. It's a very well-built Mech mod, and it is also quite expensive. So yeah, this was really just for everybody that wanted to know a little bit more about these MMK mods, because there's not a lot of information out there about them. But anyway, that's what I got for today, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me, and as always, yeah, let's keep on vaping. And that just looks so cool.